5 seconds to go. Start. Victims of crime often face significant hurdles during investigation and prosecution. Scheduled castes and scheduled tribes specifically suffer on account of procedural lapses in the criminal justice system. They face insurmountable hurdles in accessing justice from the stage of filing the complaint to the conclusion of the trial due to the fear of retribution from members of upper caste groups, ignorance, or police apathy. Many victims do not register complaints in the first place. If victims or their relatives muster up the courage to approach the police officials are reluctant to register complaints or do not record allegations accurately. Eventually, if the case does get registered, the victims and witnesses are vulnerable to intimidation, violence, and social and economic boycott. Further, many perpetrators of caste based atrocities get away scot free due to shoddy investigations and the negligence of prosecuting advocates. This results in low conviction rates under the SC/ST Act, giving rise to the erroneous perception that cases registered under the Act are false and it is being misused. On the contrary, the reality is that many acquittals are a result of improper investigation and prosecution of crime leading to insufficient evidence. This is evident from the low percentage of cases attracting the application of the provisions of the Penal Code relating to false complaints as compared to the rate of acquittals. Section 15A of the SC/ST Act contains important provisions that safeguard the rights of the victims of caste based atrocities and witnesses. Subsections 3 and 5 of Section 15A specifically make the victim or their dependent an active stakeholder in the criminal proceedings. These provisions enable a member of the marginalized caste to effectively pursue a case and counteract the effects of defective investigations. Subsections 1 to 5 of Section 15A are extracted below. It shall be the duty and responsibility of the state to make arrangements for the protection of victims, their dependents, and witnesses against any kind of intimidation or coercion or inducement or violence or threats of violence. A victim shall be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, and with due regard to any special need that arises because of the victim's age or gender or educational disadvantage or poverty. A victim or his dependent shall have the right to reasonable, accurate, and timely notice of any court proceeding, including any bail proceeding, and the special public prosecutor or the state government shall inform the victim about any proceedings under this Act. A victim or his dependent shall have the right to apply to the special court or to the exclusive special court, as the case may be, to summon parties for production of any documents or material witnesses or examine the persons present. A victim or his dependent shall be entitled to be heard at any proceeding under this Act in respect of bail, discharge, release, parole, conviction, or sentence of an accused or any connected proceedings or arguments and file written submission on conviction, acquittal, or sentencing. Emphasis added. Subsection 3 of Section 15A confers a statutory right on the victim or their dependents to reasonable, accurate, and timely notice of any court proceeding, including a bail proceeding. In addition, subsection 3 requires a special public prosecutor or the state government to inform the victim about any proceeding under the Act. Subsection 3 confers a right to a prior notice, this being evident from the use of the expression reasonable, accurate, and timely notice of any court proceeding, including any bail proceeding. Subsection 5 provides for a right to be heard to the victim or to a dependent. The expression dependent is defined in section 2bb. Thus, dependent means the spouse, children, parents, brother and sister of the victim who are dependent wholly or mainly on such victim for his support and maintenance. The provisions of subsection 3, which stipulate the requirement of notice, and of subsection 5, which confers a right to be heard, must be construed harmoniously. The requirement of issuing a notice facilitates the right to be heard. Many High Court decisions have noted that Section 15A was introduced to protect the rights of the victims and witnesses, whose rights as equal beneficiaries of the criminal justice system are often overlooked due to their weak social position. Stop.